Oh, oh, oh. Nobody stopping the shine. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on my side. So bad I thought I would die, but ain't no power stronger than the one that came and laid down his life. And I got mountains to climb.
Social media world, this is your guy, Tony Clark, on this day. And you check out the church today. How much influence does the government have over our churches? I'm probably get in trouble with this one. I decided to do this all by myself. I didn't want to get nobody else in trouble. Shout out to my girl MK, Melissa King, who is usually my co-host on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I decided to go ahead and do this without her. It was just sizzling in my spirit. So check it out. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Tony Clarkson. I've been in an awesome company for over 6 years. We teach financial strategies that are not being taught in school, and for sure is not being taught in most churches. Hey, I ran across a clip a couple of days ago. I said, I got to share this, man, because it's so fitting for this time. And hopefully you guys can get a great understanding of how the government does influence a lot of churches and what they have been teaching us thus far. I remember back in the days, at some point, they used to have someone inside of the church that would tell the pastor or preacher of the church what he could and could not talk about. And a lot of times it was about wealth, right? It was about, I think that, what's that one of the passages that talked about the color of Jesus' skin and his, his hands of bronze and all of that stuff. There's certain things that preachers just couldn't talk about. And it's almost like now the government is trying to regulate information that's being shared. Now, I'm not saying all churches are not talking about wealth. And they say in the Bible that Jesus talked about wealth over 2,000 times. And I ain't read them all, but I'm getting to understand it now that he must have thought that it had some sense to it if he spoke about it. Wealth back in the days was probably, the crops, being able to share food and help other people. But today's time and age is cash, cryptocurrency, is gold, is silver. So, on the wealth side, it's kind of still the same. So I want to share a clip with you guys. Matter of fact, I got 2 clips I'm gonna set up. The first one is Dr. Bishop, how he talks about how the government is really, really altering the process of the church. So let's dive in.
If you just do the math, if you just do the math, if you take the gross national income of all the churches in America, if we didn't pay the mortgage, if we didn't pay the staff, if we didn't pay the light bill, and took all of our money and gave it all away to the poor and became homeless to feed them, we still don't have the money. When we are taking 10% of a few people's income and they're taking 35% of everybody's income, I'd be that gone if I should have to feed everybody by myself. Now, when I did the math on it, I realized that what I am asking the people to do doesn't work. I can help. I can help. I can do my part. I can participate. I can join in. But why did you take 40% of my check and then tell me that I got to turn around and take another 10% to do what you're not doing? When I gave the 40, I thought you were going to feed somebody. And I think we need to rise up and challenge people, because I switched on that. I used to say that too until I got a calculator. And I added it all up, and I started feeding hungry people myself. And if I fed all the hungry people in my zip code, I would have to not pay my staff, and they would be hungry too. So at what point, if you're going to take my money, I don't get to give it, you take it. Before I ever get to see it, I think you can't have 40% of my check and absolve yourself of the responsibility to help feed my community. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I used to buy it. I used to buy it. I used to say it. But when I added it up, it's easy to say that when you live in neighborhoods like we do. But when you actually start feeding them and don't touch health care,
Right.
when you start talking about a prescription for blood pressure being $400, $600 for one grandmama who's got 5 different conditions in her body, I don't think the church could do it if we all went bankrupt trying.
Exactly.
Hey man, I hope y'all saw the value in that video clip. What Bishop T.D. Jakes was talking about is the government is already taking 35–40% of people's income. And then they go to the church, and the church is asking for tithes and offering. And I truly believe in tithing, man. I've been blessed with tithing, started my church. And man, me and my wife been getting blessed with a new home. We got my credit down. I don't hurt for nothing. I don't stress for nothing, because I know God, giving my money to God and he's blessing me is coming. But a lot of people are struggling out there, especially with the pandemic. Churches are struggling. Like, people are having issues feeding their families, and it's almost impossible for them to come up off another 10%. And it's shaky faith, man. I'm telling you, I already understand. The Lord knows my heart, and he's saying, hey, I got to feed my family. And you may hold on to that seed money, which is your tithe money, but most of the time the government is already taking a large chunk of your money. So I have to question you guys. The government does have a big influence on how the church is growing, because if people are coming in and they're hurting and they don't have the money, and then the church is taking 10, the government is taking 30–40%, and what do you have to live on? So I want to encourage, and hopefully it's some pastors on this page. Like I say, they say in the Bible, it speaks about wealth and not owing anybody, not being a slave to lender, passing generational wealth. I think most churches need to take on a curriculum that teaches people a strategy that we teach in our company. Of course, our business is a business, but we do have free information that we share out, like fixing your credit and how to properly adjust your W-4 where you're not overpaying on your taxes, that 30–40% that Bishop T.D. Jakes was talking about. You don't have to overpay your taxes. The strategy is to become a business owner like everybody else. Business owners get the perks and the privileges. So not overpaying your taxes can be easily fixed if you become a business owner and allow the government to reward you for becoming a business owner, and now you can pay your tithes and offerings and lower your taxable income. So I'm looking at the government now and how they operate. It's almost like, if you don't get the information for yourself, then shame on you. The information is out there. If you don't apply it to your own personal life, then shame on you. We're not going to force this information on you. It's only for the select few that are willing to accept it. So I'm looking at how it's not being taught in school by design, and maybe it's not being taught in churches by design. Let's think about it. How many churches start up and they fail because they had to go get a loan from the government or some type of entity? So if the church is not thriving and the people in the church are not thriving, then nobody can pay the mortgage. So churches are a business as well. So I think that they put so many stipulations on what the church can teach and how they operate, then I think most pastors are in a position where they can't really talk about stuff that they should. Like, most people in church need help. Of course, they may have some addictions and they're struggling with their faith and their marriages, but overall, most people are really struggling with debt. People are struggling with living paycheck to paycheck. Let's open up those 2,000 so verses that they talk about in the Bible, and let's dissect that. Let's implement a strategy. They say wealth and faith is kind of like connected, man. And it makes sense to me. It may be something that you can't see, but you can obtain it and you can build on it, right? So, man, we got a pastor in our business, my econ business now. a little bit about MyEcon. It's a 16-year-old debt-free, technology-driven business. The founder is definitely God sent. He always gives credit and honor to God, who has helped him with this vision to help other people get over the financial hurdles. So I want to share one more clip with you guys, and I know a lot of people may not get this feed live, and I can't see any comments, but please share this out. This video that I'm going to set up is Pastor Darrell Dandridge, and I want to allow him to share his testimony, and then I'm going to end in the next 15 minutes.
Well, before MyEcon, I've been in business for myself officially since 2005. We were pastoring, my wife and I, in North Little Rock, Arkansas, and we were living good, looking good, driving good, but we were broke. All right, and so as a result of that, being introduced to MyEcon, now we have an even greater perspective on our financial life. We've been able to help so many people with their finances all across the country. It is just amazing how God has used us to be a blessing to so many. And as a result of the MyEcon principles, we started teaching those principles at our church where I pastor, and we were able to pay off our church mortgage early.
Hey, great testimony by Pastor Darrell Dandridge. I think me and him came into the business around the same time, but I've been following him for a while. Hey, one of his latest greatest is a book I got from I got this one from Randy Gates. It's called A Broke Christian is an Oxymoron. It has several of my business partners that came in and wrote the book. They got some excellent comments about their life and how they view wealth, faith, and finances, and the church. We have Spencer LaCapra, Monica Brown. We have Eric McKinley, Brandy Gates. We have Keith Tucker, man. Patrick, man. Some of the great leaders in my company came up with this book, man. And I'm telling you, it's been an eye-opening experience for me, because these are people like me and you that have struggled with finances, and they found out that if churches would do more as far as educating, helping people, because at one point they would always say that money was the root of all evil, but we have to use money as a tool. I think that once you dissect and break it down and show people that you shouldn't be afraid of money, you can do great things with money. You can help other people, you know what I'm saying, get out of their financial struggles. But I think most importantly, it starts with the education. That's how you get over fear. That's how you get over financial struggles, is by sharing some strategies. I think that, like they say, faith without works is dead. Well, I think wealth without strategy is dead. It's like, it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to work till you're dead. You're going to work for the rest of your life for the next 40, 50 years. You got to start passing down biblical principles. In the Bible, it's 2000. I think I read it in one of the opening credits that Pastor Darrell Dandridge said, is that they spoke of the wealth in the Bible over 2,000 times. So I think most churches, hey, it's a call to action. Let's implement some credit repair classes. Let's introduce some of the MyEcon strategies, like adjusting your W-4 to get an additional $200 to $500 back into your paycheck, so the people in the church can start paying off their debt. Most people don't have a game plan. They hear the word, they excited when they leave, but they read, but they don't have some strategies to go along with the faith. And I think once you do that, I think that the church, like Pastor Darrell said, they paid off the church early, and now they can start going into the community and sharing what they've learned, and allow that church to be a model to go into your homes, because they don't teach this in school. We got to teach this at home and in our churches. And I think that that's when you start to see a significant change. So we can't allow fear to stop us from elevating. Man, I hope I'm adding some value to your life. I hope I don't get in trouble. I ain't no pastor. I ain't no financial advisor. I'm not a tax preparer. I'm just sharing my vision, sharing some of my teachings and reading about how finances has helped me joining this awesome company that I joined. And I don't mind sharing. That's the first concept in our business. We want to educate people first. We don't want to bring you into a business and you don't get the understanding of it, because it's like anything else, you'll quit. And we don't want you to quit. We want you to at least get a great understanding of how it is to fix your credit, how to pay off your debt, and how to get money as an issue out of the way and be a blessing to someone. So I'm going to end this feed. So you guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube page. I have a lot of content about what we do in our business, and I'll see you guys on the next video feed. Stay blessed.